कुंज बिहारी सुभद्रमय सुदर्शन की जय, श्री गौरनिताय की जय, बालाजी भगवान की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनः सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading from teachings of Rupa Goswami under teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So we'll read.
Regarding the gopis dealing with Sri Krishna in Vrindavan, Srimad Bhagavatam 10.30.36 18th verse describes how when Sri Krishna took Srimati Radhika alone from the Rasa dance, she proudly thought, "My dear Lord Krishna has left the other gopis, although they are as beautiful as I am, and he is satisfied with me alone." In the forest, she told Krishna, "My dear Krishna, I am unable to move anymore. Now, if you like, you can take me wherever you desire." Krishna replied, "You can climb on my shoulder." But as soon as he said this, he disappeared. Whereupon Srimati Radhika repented very much.
When Krishna disappeared from the scene of the Rasa dance, all the gopis began to repent, saying, "Dear Krishna, we have come here and have left aside our husbands, sons, relatives, brothers, and friends. Neglecting their advice, we have come to you, and you best know the reason for our coming here. You know that we have come because we are captivated by the sweet sound of your flute. But we are so cunning that in the dead of night, you have left girls and women like us. This is not very good for us, for you."
The word sama means controlling the mind and keeping it from being diverted in various ways while fixing it on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, one whose mind is fixed on the Supreme Lord is situated on the sama platform. On that platform, the devotee understands that Krishna is the basic principle of everything within our experience. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 7.19. After many births of cultivating knowledge, one who has attained real knowledge surrenders unto Vasudeva, Krishna, because he can understand that Krishna is present in everything, that he is distributed all over the cosmic manifestation. Although everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord and is situated in his energy, everything is nonetheless different from Krishna in his personal form. It is stated in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that the platform of Sama, on which one understands that Krishna is the basic principle of everything, is the same as Shantarati. Unless one is elevated to the platform of Shantarati, one cannot be fixed in knowledge of the greatness of Krishna or of the diffusion of his different energies, which are the cause of all manifestations. This same point is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.19.36. Samo mananishtuta buddher daman indriya samaya titiksha dukha samasho jivo pastha jayo dhriti. Sama, equilibrium of mind, is achieved by one who has concluded that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of everything. And when one can control his senses, that is called Dhamma. When one is ready to tolerate all kinds of sufferings, to control the senses and keep the mind steady, that is called Titiksha or tolerance. And when one can control the urges of the tongue and genitals, that is called Dhriti. One who has attained Dhriti is a Dhira, a pacified person. A pacified person is never disturbed by the urges of the tongue and genitals.
One who can fix his mind on Krishna without deviation attains Shantaras, the steadfast position in Krishna consciousness. One in Shantaras exhibits two main qualities: unflinching faith in Krishna and the cessation of qualities, cessation of all material desires. These specific characteristics of Shantaras, unflinching faith in Krishna and cessation of all desires not connected with Krishna, are common to all other rasa as well. Just as sound is present not only in sky, where it is produced, but also in other elements, air, fire, water, and earth. So these two characteristics of Shantaras are also present in Dasyaras, servitorship, Sakhyaras, fraternity, Svatsalyaras, paternal affection, and Madhuryaras, conjugal love.
When we speak of desires not connected with Krishna or non-Krishna, this does not mean that anything exists without Krishna. Actually, there cannot be anything non-Krishna because everything is a product of the energy of Krishna. Since Krishna and his energies are identical, everything is Krishna indirectly. For example, consciousness is common to every living entity, but when consciousness is centered solely on Krishna, Krishna consciousness, it is pure, and when consciousness is centered on something other than Krishna, or when it is directed to sense gratification, it may be called non-Krishna conscious. Thus, it is the polluted state that the conception of non-Krishna comes. In the pure state, however, there is nothing but Krishna consciousness.
So we are reading from teachings of Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Chaitanya is teaching to Rupa Goswami. Through Rupa Goswami is teaching to us. So this is section where their section starts explaining about how there are two level of devotees. So one level of devotees, they want to worship the Lord in awe reverence, and another, they are captivated by the affection or love. So to explain this, now today's section we are reading about gopis. So this is from Canto 10, 30th chapter. So 36 to 40. So that is a mention. So when this is a, we know that past time, how when Rasa dance, Krishna was there, all the gopis were there, and every gopis, they were thinking that Krishna is only with me, and in that they became little proud that only Krishna is with me only. Of course, they had left all their relatives, their family members, their home, everything they had left. Their only concern was how we can give pleasure to the Lord. There was no concern of own engage, own pleasure. Only they wanted to please and serve the Lord. For that they came just hearing the sound of the flute, but they felt little pride. So that's why Krishna immediately he disappeared. So this Prabhupada writes in Krishna book. So although Prabhupada did not, could not give after 14 chapter commentaries, but in Krishna book he has already mentioned all these pastimes and some lessons. So there he writes in Krishna book that Krishna is very much affection for his devotees. That's why even little pride also he wants to purify that from his heart of devotees. So that's why he disappeared. And here, Lord, how they are, this gopis, they are thinking, although, so their thoughts are mentioned here. That my dear Lord Krishna, he has left. Although it's like they are explaining that actually Lord left and Lord is with Radharani. So that's how they are thinking. But of course, they are means later the little envy kind of thoughts are we see here. But when they understood actually Krishna even left Radharani, so then they become very sad, and then immediately Prabhupada writes in that Krishna book that actually devotee, when he sees that other devotees in lamenting, and he is also desiring to please Lord, serve Lord, but they are not able to, somehow they feeling so much morose, so then they become very affectionate and concerned. So immediately they are felt. So this is how Prabhupada is taking out the lessons. that somebody is having some inability to serve Lord or please Lord, then devotee is there to serve him and help him. So that is a devotee's association. So devotee association is meant to uplift everyone, because Krishna also becomes very unhappy if his devotee is not happy. So that's how devotees also should think in that way, that somebody is not able to uh, come up to some standard, then we have to help in all possible way, whatever we can. That is a lesson Prabhupada writes in Krishna book. So here, all these things are mentioned only to show that how devotees dealing with the Lord and how they have relationship with the Lord. So all like Shanta, after Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So all these relationships are there. To explain that relationships, these points are mentioned. Previously to this, Yashodama is that was mentioned, how Vatsalya Ras, Yashoda is trying to serve Lord. And here, conjugal Ras, how they are trying to serve the Lord. So this serving mentality is in all the ways. So these two paragraphs are mentioned to show how gopis and radharanis, they are trying to give their everything for pleasing the Lord. So here Krishna is always concern of his devotees. So that's why he is always trying to uplift that devotee in wherever their position. So that is the main point here. To go in detail, we can read more further in Krishna book or even Bhagavatam. But that is the main point to explain these two stanzas, two paragraphs. How we have to understand that these are of course very high level of pastimes, but still to come to our ground level of our understanding, Prabhupada gives these two understanding for us, or the lessons for us, that pride is, Krishna never likes his devotee become proud, because we are never the doer, we are never doer of any activity. So how we can be proud for Radhanand Maharaj given class. The title is never be proud of or borrowed rooms. So means like whatever capacity we have, whatever talents we are, they are borrowed from Lord. Even intelligence also is coming from the Lord. So how can we be proud for others' property, which is not ours? So that is a understanding. So pride is very dangerous, and that's why we have to always serve the Mahat, by which we can get rid of pride. So Mahadam Mahat Damba Upasaya. So Damba means pride is we can overcome by serving the great souls. That is the second. First, and second, that we have to, just like gopis, they felt little envy that Krishna is going only with leaving everything. Us also, we are also as equal beautiful and everything, but the Krishna leaving us and going to Radharani. But then when Radharani also Krishna left, so that time when Radharani become morose, that time again lesson that when devotees not able to serve the Lord, they become morose or lament. So that time other devotees help. So just like when Dhruva Maharaj, Krishna gave the vision, and Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, but immediately Lord disappeared. And that time Dhruva Maharaj was lamenting. So then Lord came again, and Lord said that actually I feel so much morose. I feel also unhappy that you are not able to see me, but actually because of incomplete in service, you have to complete your service. then only we will be able to see me again. So that's how we have to see. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya, when Balabhadra Bhattacharya and we know Kal Krishnadas. So when they had gone with Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course Kal Krishnadas, he got attracted to Bhattaris, and then that's how. But when he came back, that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him. That time all devotees, they tried the ways and means how we can engage him and somehow try to pacify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That time all devotees, they give service, that whatever you have seen the pastimes of the Lord, go and tell to all the Mayapur devotees. So Navdeep devotees. So then he goes and he tells. So although he was feeling so much bad, like Mukunda, when he also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not able to, no, not seeing him, not giving me mercy, all devotees felt so much morose, unhappy that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is rejecting Mukunda. Then all devotees and Pratap Rudra also. So like this, so devotees always have concern that not only me but everyone should get mercy of the Lord. So that is, so we also we should try our best to help devotees to become perfect or please the Lord in pure way. So that is the main thing. So here, so in previous paragraphs actually that was mentioned that how there are two kinds of levels. I mean, like first is that Mathura or Vaikunta planets, they have attraction for the Lord in awe reverence, and in Gokula and Vrindavan, they have attraction to serve the Lord and with love and affection. So to explain that, all these pastimes are told, and these two paragraphs also mentioning on that only. And then it comes about more explanation about how this sama means, like shama means controlling the mind and keeping it from being diverted in various ways by fixing it on Supreme Person of Godhead. So today morning Rasham was mentioning Tasmat Ekene Manasa. So Tasmat Ekene Manasa, Bhagavan Shashvatam Pati. So Ekene Manasa means pinpointed attention. And which one shloka is there where Prabhupada said our philosophy is based on this, our ISKCON, all this. This is a main shloka from where Prabhupada established ISKCON. What is that shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Huh? No. Huh? व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धि एक है कुरुनंदन बहुशाखाय अनंतश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिना. So व्यवसायत्मिका buddhi एक है कुरुनंदन. So pinpoint attention. So that is how. So from that there is commentary of Vishwanath Thakur. From that only Prabhupada said that actually our ISKCON is based on this principle of Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Eke Kurunandana. So here, controlling the mind and keeping it from being diverted in various ways by fixing on the Lord. So for this, the simple process given is about chanting. Chanting is meant to focus on the Lord and try to control our mind. But in that only so much distractions are there. So much thoughts come. But again and again we have to bring it back. That is the main process. So when mind is fixed on the Lord, He is known to be situated on Shama platform. So on that platform, devotee understand Krishna is the basic principle behind everything. So again, actually same thing, that why we divert or why we don't focus on Lord is actually that controllership mentality or proprietorship mentality, that actually I am doing that, or I have that control. So because of that, we don't depend on the Lord. We don't think that how Krishna is actually only the doer. I am nothing, although my post, position, everything is there, but that is just temporary. My real position is to be das and to be servant. Now is a position, this is a time where I have to really declare to the Lord that actually I am your servant and please engage me in your service. So that time only mind doesn't accept, because that worship mentality is too deep. But we see in the past times of Prahlad Maharaj, recently in National we heard that how Prahlad Maharaj, although so many challenges came, but he never thought that let me overcome this difficulty, let me solve all this, and then I will also do that. It's fully depend on the Lord. Actually, what he can do, 5 years old boy, and all relatives, all soldiers, and his father, everybody is trying to make him like mm, control and trying to change, but he was full focus. And how can he actually fight with them or reject them? Because there is no, materially speaking, there is no chance only. But he was completely depend on the Lord. So completely depend on the Lord, and the Lord will. In yesterday Madhavendra Puri's last time we saw that how Madhavendra Puri, he was just chanting in Govind Kund. So he was fully dependent on the Lord. His only actually desire and only pleasure was to chant. But Lord gave him the service. So Lord told, bring me the chandan. So then he did not say that, Lord, I am chanting. And his full pleasure in chanting. But he left and he went all the way from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri, and ahead of that, just to bring the Chandan, Malay Hills. So there, and that time going means walking, and he did not tell his disciple. He was disciple, he had having disciple, but he himself went, personally served. Chanting means serving. So there we see that, and he was not concerned about anything. When he was chanting, that time he was just chanting. He was not concerned about belly or prasad, anything. That vritti is called ayachak vritti. Ayachak means not begging. Yachak means begging to have something. But ayachak means not even begging also. So he was fully dependent on the Lord. And the Lord comes with a milk, and then he says that nobody can become hungry, nobody can remain hungry in this place, so please take this. So there acharyas give the lesson that although he was not at all bothered about his own belly or eating, but Lord is concerned, and Lord takes care. So that's why yogakshama vahamyam. So that is the thing. So that is a main principle. So when we understand that Krishna is there in everything, and we focus our mind on the Lord, Lord will take care of everything. At least when we are chanting, we have to be concerned about this. We have to fully convince about this, that Lord is a doer, and whatever is going to happen, that it will happen. But now at least focus on chanting. So that will make us determined that let me not give up this time, whatever I'm chanting, so that Lord will do. That's why Yogaksham Vahamyam. I carry what they have, what they like, and I preserve what they have. So that is the assurance of the Lord. And then Prabhupada tells about 7.19, how Krishna is explaining the such a person can understand that Krishna is present in everything and is distributed all over the cosmic manifestation. Although everything is under the control of the Lord and is situated in his energy, everything nonetheless different from Krishna in his personal form. And that's why Bhakti Sindhu is quoted that one who understands this, whose intelligence is fixed on Krishna, has attained the platform of Shama. So, this understanding of Shama means that actually Krishna is there in everything and everything controlled by Krishna. So, let me not bothered about all this doership mentality. If I depend on the Lord, Lord will do everything. So, here Prabhupada said that unless one is elevated in the platform of Shantarasi, he cannot be fixed in knowledge of greatness of Krishna. So the Shantarati, like 5 rasas are there. So first is Shantaras. So in that they are completely mesmerized with the greatness of the Lord, opulence of the Lord, energy of the Lord. So they glorify so much about how Lord is such a great being, such a glorious personality, having so many energies. So that is their qualification. So they in Shantaras, devotees in the Shantaras. So to quote this, Prabhupada explained about this Bhagavatam shloka. The translation that stability of mind can be achieved by one who has concluded that the Lord is the original source of everything, and that when one can control his senses, that is called Shama. So Lord is the original source of everything, and when one can control his senses, that is called Shama. And when one is ready to tolerate all kinds of, actually that is Dhamma, na? Dhamma it is written, na? Huh? That after the shloka, Dhamma, na? Here it is. So that is Dhamma, because this shloka says about Dhamma. So mistaken. So when one is ready to tolerate all kinds of sufferings in order to control the senses and keep the mind steady, that is Diksha. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this shloka, Satyenu Kampam Sushimi Shimano. So, so we have to tolerate all the sufferings just so that we can please the Lord, and that is just like mother tolerates so much. So I was coming in the bus, one small daughter, she started vomiting, and vomiting so much that on her body, on the seat, so much was there. So now we feel disgust. Array, we don't want to smell also. We want to run from that seat, go a little front and sit. But then that mother, now what can she do? And she cannot shout on the child also. Array, you don't understand. You should at least tell me. Then I would have make you near this window, and then you could have. No, nothing. And then says, so why? Because that love is there. So that they tolerate so many difficulties, so many challenges, and so much because that love. And they want to undergo all difficulties just to serve them. It may be hard, whatever, but they are ready to do cooking, everything. So that is their thing. So that is high level. So when we love, we want to serve. So love somebody, and we may not have developed that love, but at least the process is given that you serve, then that love will develop. So by service, love will develop. Either we love, then you serve, but if no love is not now, by service we will develop that love. we service, and then we have to understand the personality, whom we are serving. Then we will develop the love. So that is a process. Even material circle is the same thing. Same about spiritual level. So here, when one can control the urges of the tongue and genitals, that is called dhriti, and that's how one becomes dhira, pacified. So these are very basic level, because unless we have control of all this, especially tongue and genital, so tongue, belly, genitals, all these three, as Rupa Goswami writes in NOI, Net of Instruction, all three are in one line. If you have conquer on this, then you become guru. You can preach all over the world. So that is how. So here one becomes dhira, pacified. A pacified person is never disturbed by the urges of tongue and genital. So this is a long way for us, but at least we have to strive. We have to try our best, because everything starts with that only, tongue and genitals. So we have to have control, because every, like today Projo was mentioning, that our body, mind and words, every moment should be in service of the Lord, because we are servant, and servant is means to serve the master. So it depends on us how much we are identifying ourselves as a master, with a master, as a servant mode. And then Prabhupada mentioned about Shantaras, that how one can fix a mind on Krishna without deviation, then he can attain steadfast position in Krishna oneness, that Shantaras. So, two specific characteristics of Shantaras: unflinching faith in Krishna and no material desires, because material desires are taking away from the Lord. So the faith, unflinching faith on the Lord. So Rakhe Krishna, Mare Krishna, that faith has to be developed. So when that faith comes, and we have to try our best to give up material desires. Our actually prayer should be that only all the time, that let me not have material desires. Material desires are for sense gratification. Spiritual desires are for the sense gratification only, but for Lord's gratification. That is the only clear difference. So am I trying to enjoy myself? Am I trying to give enjoyment to Krishna or devotees? That is only clear difference. So and these two characteristics are there in all the rasas. So that is all four rasas. These two characteristics continues, and for that Prabhupada gives the analogy that about the sound. The sound is there in all the five elements. So, and towards last, that when we speak of non-Krishna or desire which has no connection with Krishna, this does not mean that anything exists without Krishna. Actually, there cannot be anything non-Krishna, because everything is part of energy of Krishna. So everything is energy, but it is material or spiritual. That is only the difference. So either we are with Maya or with spiritual energy of Krishna. So external energy also is Krishna's energy only. Nothing is without Krishna. But we have to only see whether I am spiritual or material. So we are, it depends on us what is our consciousness. So like here, example, the consciousness is common of every living entity. But when consciousness is purely centered on Krishna, that is pure. But when it is mixed for sense gratification, that is non-Krishna consciousness. So that is polluted state. That's why in pure state, there is nothing but Krishna consciousness. So we are a spirit soul. We are actually pure. We are part and parts of the Lord. And we have to identify more on spiritual level. So that's why all this reading, hearing, chanting, and serving is there to again build up our main position, main original state, that we are servant and we are trying to serve the master. And by having that mood, then we can really please the Lord. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given these teachings that Jiver Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, Nityadas, Jiver Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, Jiva Krishnadas, A Vishwas Karle Tuar Dukha Nahi. So Jiva Krishnadas, A Vishwas. So we have to have that faith. Karle Tuar Dukha Nahi. Then we'll not have any miseries in our life. So if we feel something, then actually we are missing that our original consciousness. That's why we feel morose or we feel not happy. Just like Mahadevendra Puri, he is relishing chanting. But when it was told that bring Chandan, he was ready to walk, ready to bring and go and do all. So we can really understand that actually without service, actually we cannot please the Lord. We are not like even Haridas Thakur, he was chanting but he was preaching. So he was always chanting but he was preaching also. So all six Goswamis, they had that. So if we are not fully trying our best to serve and please, actually then we will not have realizations. That Vigyan will not come. Chanting will not give much realizations. That will come, but we are not pure on that level. So that's why we are told to serve. So we have to be fully engaged in service, and at the same time, we have to try our best to develop that love. Then we can really achieve the perfection. And that is the sum and substance of teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that we develop this attitude, then we can really achieve the perfection. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any question? So it is, for discussing it is very easy, but long way. But we have to try our best. So we help each other, then we can really develop that. Okay? Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol.